Okay, for my journal article speech, first I will introduce my audience. Kaylee, my daughter.
Hello.
Haston, my son, and Brandon, my husband. And my grandmother. Okay. When I first saw we had to do a journal article speech, I began to wonder what I would do. While I was browsing the web, a few things caught my eye, but the main one was SIDS, Sudden Infant Death Syndrome. I chose the article hoping to help someone prevent a child from SIDS. The author's purpose for writing the article was to give the reader ways to prevent SIDS. The points I will be discussing in my speech are the 2 types of co-sleeping, the back-to-sleep method, and the risk of swaddling infants. The first point I will discuss is the 2 types of co-sleeping, room sharing and bed sharing. Co-sleeping is when a parent or child sleep within a sensory distance of each other. Room sharing is when the parents share a room with their child. For instance, it can be a crib or a portable crib near their bed within sensory touch, like through touch, sight, or even smell. Bed sharing is when parents share their bed with their child. Studies show that this is very dangerous for a child to sleep with their parents due to a chance of the parent rolling over on top of the child or the child getting stuck between the headboard and the mattress, causing them to suffocate. Studies show that it is best for the child to have their own crib. Everybody thinks that the new baby should be in the bed with their parents, but that is not true. They should have their own room and their own crib. The second point I will discuss is the back-to-sleep method. Numerous studies have shown that placing an infant on their back is the best way to prevent SIDS. Tummy time is a good thing, but only during when the child is awake and someone is monitoring the child at all times. Never leave them on their tummy without being monitored. Some research shows that placing a baby on their stomach to sleep puts pressure on their jaw, causing the airway to narrow, and when the airway narrows, it puts a hamper on breathing. Another reason not to place a baby on their stomach is because they could breathe exhaled air. This happens when the baby is placed on a soft mattress with a blanket or a teddy bear or anything soft that could get around the baby's mouth and put an enclosure and causing the baby to breathe the exhaled air. When exhaled air is breathed, the oxygen level drops and carbon dioxide accumulates. When carbon dioxide accumulates, this could cause SIDS. For instance, I will show you a risk of a baby being enclosed around the mouth. I have my baby, and in the bed, if you put the baby in the bed, you can see that if it's on its stomach, then it could easily close its mouth off and not be able to breathe properly. Or if it has a pillow around, then it could easily get over the baby and cause it to suffocate. The third point I will discuss is the risk of swaddling infants. Many people still swaddle infants even though it is a hazard. Swaddling is known to cause respiratory infections. Swaddled babies may overheat if their heads are partially covered, which this can cause hyperthermia and even death. Swaddling is still used by a number of people, but if you do it, make sure you know how to do it the correct way, and if you do not, you can take a swaddling technique course to learn the proper way to swaddle your infant. If you do this, make sure you have a camera monitor in the crib with the child so you can monitor your baby during the night to make sure that the head does not become covered. The 3 points I covered are the 2 types of co-sleeping, the back-to-sleep method, and the risk of swaddling infants. Overall, I think the main points of this article are important to readers to give them facts on how to prevent SIDS.